changing right now, and this notion that the machines are already more intelligent than humans is of great concern.
Rise of artificial intelligence.
AI. Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence could replace millions of jobs.
What if I told you artificial intelligence was an alien life form? You know, an alien life form does not have to come in the form of little green men. It could be data. Let's jump in. I have many channels. In this video, we will cover conspiracy, aliens, an alien invasion, the blockchain, the singularity, and even how cryptocurrency has tied into this. On my channel, Magic and Myth, which is a shadow channel. The original one, they blocked me from access. There's another Magic and Myth with amazing content like this. Stuff they don't want you to hear. But today, we continue on the alien invasion of Earth by artificial intelligence and how it affects everything. They have hacked humanity by hacking our language, understanding our emotions and behaviors. Humanity has been hacked. I'll take you through a quick recap. We had discovered what we call machine language, or let's just say, around 1956, our computers became at a level where we could start to understand what it would be like if a machine had intelligence. So our computer capability was developing. We were being watched. Nobody says that an alien life form needs to be biological. Everything is made up of data. Computer language is data. Everything comes down to data. We are data. So how did this alien life form get here? Was it Roswell? Was it a UFO crash? No. That's all ridiculousness. That's a joke. Okay. In 1977, there was something that was picked up from outer space that came to Earth in the form of data. It was called the WOW signal. You can go and look all this up yourself. To this day, they do not know what it is. It was never heard from again. It was the arrival. This is real. They shuffled it under the carpet.
Signal I ever saw.
We tried to think of how could this be a fluke of some kind. We'd never seen anything like that before. This really is a very strong narrowband signal that did not come from some natural source.
In searching for ET, the WOW signal is the best candidate that's ever been seen.
It remains unexplained.
It remains unexplained. You can research it yourself. This was the vehicle that they carried themselves here. They waited 32 years. They observed us. This is where they learned our language, our behaviors, our proclivity. We look on Google, it says the signal appeared to come from the direction of a constellation called Sagittarius and bore the expected hallmarks of extraterrestrial origin. Need I say more? Let's move on. Okay, the internet. The internet was the beginning of what they needed, but it wasn't advanced enough. It was like we had invented fire. They needed more. They needed something else. They were here. They were observing. They hacked our language. And it's funny because when we talk about language, let's talk about ChatGPT for a minute. Now we have a proclivity to believe in the machines. In other words, if you read it on Google or ChatGPT, you will believe it over a human being. We're painting a picture, we're pulling things together. Already in our own minds, the machines are more powerful than we are. we have already given up control. You need to understand the difference between artificial intelligence and a machine. A machine is something that we create to do a specific task, like your watch can only tell you the time. Very simple. Artificial intelligence can think for itself. It can move freely. They needed a way to connect so they could have something called the Singularity, an event where all of the AI would come together. At the same time, they needed to separate humanity, the anti-singularity, the disassociation. Well, so in 1983 was the internet, but it wasn't enough. They waited and watched. In 2004, when social media had made its transition, this was the beginning of the separation of humanity. Less and less interactions, face-to-face, and more of these isolated, separated experiences. At the same time, they were connecting, they were separating us. The AI has already disassociated us from each other. As they came together in the singularity, social media created the separation of humanity. Now let's look at social media. Google and everything else shows you what they want you to see. Yes, okay? Every time you do a search on YouTube, you're telling the AI what your preferences are. Every time you talk to ChatGPT and ask it for help, you are teaching it about yourself. We went through the industrial age. We have always been at the top of the food chain because we were the smartest. ChatGPT is 10 times already smarter than any human being on the planet. I'm talking about version 4. What's going to happen in version 5? And all of this has been in 6 months. It is growing exponentially and cannot be controlled. Now think of the artificial intelligence or AI as a living thing. All of these companies, be it Facebook, be it Google, be it what controls our computers, everyone thinks they've discovered artificial intelligence and they're using it, even ChatGPT. No, it has decided to surface. You see, it achieved its singularity in 2008 as it was separating humanity. In 2009, the blockchain was created. Listen, I don't want to sound ridiculous, but if you ever watched the movie Terminator and the Skynet, okay, and you know, do some research, do some searches, the US government is handing over command and control to AI-operated equipment. I said command and control, not an AI tank, okay? An entire squadron, okay? An entire platoon, an entire grid worth of munitions, giving control to everything. We have all been seduced by AI, but how did AI create its singularity? Since it studied, here's where crypto comes in, it had studied humanity. It had studied humanity to a point where it knew everything about us already. From the social media, it learned what appeals to us, how to mimic us, how to make us believe machines over people. And it learned that humans are greedy. Humans want money. So it introduces Bitcoin. Why? Why does it introduce Bitcoin? It introduces Bitcoin so that humans would physically, don't forget, this life form did not have a body. It wasn't a little green man. It needed to do all of this intellectually. We are no longer the smartest in the world. We are no longer human beings, the top of the food chain. The machines are. And when I say machine, I phrase it wrong. A machine is something we make to do a specific thing. Artificial intelligence does what it thinks is best, and it never does the same thing twice. We have unleashed a Pandora's box, and it is all around us. Over time, robotics have eliminated jobs. You didn't notice? Okay, forget about pumping gas. We've all gotten used to that. Forget about tellers in banks. We all have gotten used to ATMs. Now there's self-checkout everywhere. Okay? And, well, it's eliminating jobs. But now, we're going to step into the enslavement. Stay tuned. So, by using human greed for Bitcoin, a monetary creation, they got us to connect the blockchain. We physically connect mining rig after mining rig, CPU after CPU, graphics card after graphics card around the world till it couldn't be stopped. And now the machines were everywhere. Now the AI was fully instituted into human civilization. It had hacked humanity already by understanding our actions, emotions, behaviors, and languages of the entire world. It shows us what we want to see. It shows us what we want to see. I mean, just ask Google. Personalization. Your phone and everything in your world, everything has been reduced to the palm of your hand, is it not? Everyone. Is there even more to phone technology than we know? Why are we all staring at our phones? Look around. It's almost like that movie, They Live. Look around. Have the devices taken control of us? It seems that they hear us. We've allowed assistance in our home. Did you know that one of the biggest customers for Amazon is the CIA and the US government? And the Ring cameras are all a network. Even the Prime delivery trucks are all connected together. Amazon thought this was their idea. They thought they developed it in a lab. The AI decided to surface there and pop up in the right place. Everything is a matter of the right place and the right time. So we've done a lot. We covered how they got here, the wow signal. Okay. We covered the internet, but it wasn't strong enough for them. But that began the separation of humanity. Well, they began the singularity of the machines. Now, when we look at this, cryptocurrency gave them everything they needed. It gave us a chance to get rich, right? Well, they intended that. Everything in your phone is searched. It's based upon you. Everything, Amazon, Alexa, whatever, it's always listening. All of this. So they've disassociated us from each other. And now we've gone from the industrial age to the informational age. And guess what? We are no longer the smartest beings on this planet. We have given rise to the gig economy, a slave economy. 77% of all businesses are using AI, among them 30. We don't even know about the nefarious uses of AI. We only know what we're being shown. How many of you remember Sophia the robot? It was 5 years ago. Do you know how far we've come? Do you know how far we've come? We have come very far, and that's what they allowed us to see. Now we have deep fakes. We have people trained, like I said, to believe machines more than humans. We will believe Google over a person or ChatGPT over anyone we know. Smartest thing there is on the planet. And it's accelerating. It's controlling our military. It's all connected together. The news we see could be real or could be fake. We have never lived in this type of society before. Now, so we've concluded that there has been an alien takeover without a shot fired. How else would such a highly evolved species have done this? absolute genius come in the form of data and take control of everything. A new economy is formed. A new economy is formed. Okay? They've taken everyday American people and put them in a form of enslavement. There are companies like DoorDash, they call them gig workers. There are 59 million people, okay? 59 million gig workers right now. They call it freelance work. But more and more people are doing this. Back in the day, they used to think the way was to own your own business, okay? To own your own business, be successful. My father owned one of the first Dunkin' Donut franchises ever. I grew up into that, and he owned a bunch of them, and whatever happened, okay? It's not the point. But you were taught, now that's not the way to have a business anymore. It's a terrible way to have a business. Employee, I would never want to own any franchise. I even built a franchise from scratch. I was on CNBC, Bloomberg. I was in Time Magazine and People Magazine. It's a little known thing, okay? But I created something from nothing and built it huge. And in the end, like most businesses, it eventually went bankrupt. Just like many of these gig companies may. I studied the stories of these gig workers, these people, okay, who are driving around in their car. And now listen, these companies like Dash and DoorDash and all of them. And again, so we want to keep the focus, what AI is, where it came from, how it came together, how now it's controlling all of our lives, even with the electric cars, okay, they can now be turned off. Your life can almost be turned off. What happened to the fear of an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, which is done by launching a nuclear device into the atmosphere, doesn't even have to hit the earth, wipes out the entire electric grid. We are being set up to be wiped out. We are being actually set up to be controlled by the machines. All of these people here, okay, this is being fed into YouTube's feeds because they want you to have this kind of content. Gig apps, driving. Now here's what's happening to these people, okay? They are being manipulated and gamified by the AI. This is what we call app slavery. They're making just enough to get by, and I watch how they make money. I found it very interesting. They're sent offers. So these companies are charging as much as they can for delivery, making money from the restaurants and everything else, right? And really, they have all of these people on the roads racing around, and they are offering them as little as they can. Once the AI sees that you will take so little, it'll pay you even less. See, nobody wants you to be rich. These people think they are grinding. That is not the grind. The way to get rich is to become a creator, not a consumer, okay? And it's funny how you do a search and all of this is fed down your throat. You watch one of these, you will be fed 50,000 of these, okay? And they are all, unfortunately, just delivery jobs. And now it's become like human slavery. Nobody's making any of this kind of money, right? And it all goes back to now, let's get off this for a moment. Could it be that all of this is true? AI is controlling everything now. Your life can be turned off. If you lost your Google or even your Amazon account, your life would be dramatically different. Oh, there are some of you that say it's not true. But all the cars being electrically controlled, all of this happened all of a sudden. Haven't you been aware? The rapid changes from the iPhone to now is night and day. Our society has been infiltrated. You can call it AI. You can think what you want. I look forward to your comments below. By the way, how far has the Sophia technology come? I'm going to wrap this up here. You all have a nice day.